John, after the Dodgers took the first game of the series on Tuesday night, the White Sox evened it up 1-1 last night. And so the finale is the rubber match, the Dodgers and the Chicago White Sox from Dodger Stadium. I hope you're having a great week. Welcome inside. Joe Davis, Jessica Mendoza, Kirsten Watson will join us in just a bit. A lot of attention, obviously, on the bullpen lately. And in this series, Jess, a good game that was a win and a bad game that turned into a loss.
It's the story of the season, and it's the story of the series. And you look back to game one and how the bullpen did, there's a reason why they won that game. And it's because of the arms that came in. You look at the numbers, 1 earned run, the 4 strikeouts in the 3 innings pitched. Brusdar Graterol coming in the 9th to close it down. And you think about how they have won games. It's come down to the bullpen because game 2 last night, it was a complete reverse story. The 6 earned runs in the 3 innings pitched. They came in the 8th and the 9th innings, especially Yency Almonte, Alex Vesia. Those two struggled. They have throughout the season, and this has been the story for the Dodgers. And
the better the starter can do as far as getting deeper into the game, the less exposure there is for that struggling bullpen. And the task tonight belongs to Michael Grove.
I like Michael Grove for tonight, and the reason is against the White Sox. If you look at his stuff and what he can do, we've seen it play up. His numbers don't show that 8.28 ERA, but against the White Sox tonight, watch the slider, watch the chase. This is a White Sox team that chases a whole lot, and I think Michael Grove is going to have a much better start.
Tough customer on the other side, Jess. Dylan Cease, the runner-up for Cy Young a year ago.
Oh, his stuff can be so nasty. We saw it last year with how he threw. You look at the numbers last year to this year, biggest thing has been command. It's something he's been trying to hone in and throw more over the plate, and because of that, hitters have been lighting him up.
Dodgers and White Sox final game in this 3-game series on a comfortable night here in Los Angeles. It could heat up a little bit. It's June, come on, but it's nice enough, and we got baseball coming up on Sportsnet LA.
And make sure that not only is Will Smith in the All-Star game, but that he should be starting.
Smith flips a fly ball to left. It sends Profar back at the track, at the wall. Smith goes deep again.
I'm just sticking to my approach like I always do. A lot of hard work in the offseason to get my swing right where I want it and my body in good position.
He's a superstar, and given his ability to post and do work both sides of the baseball, and hit in the middle of the order, you don't find guys like that.
All right, Dodgers.com/vote. Get out there, vote for Will Smith. He is second among the National League catchers in All-Star voting. Jerry, he homered 2 nights ago on his bobblehead night. That in itself is reason alone to vote.
He's second? How in the world is he not first? We're talking about America's catcher who catches for the Dodgers, hits third for this historic franchise. Come on, fans, get out there, vote. Will Smith into the All-Star game.
He should be #1 by a landslide. He should be going out there leading every catcher. Shouldn't even be a question. We have to go out there and vote Will Smith.
All right, homered on his bobblehead night. Tonight it is Clayton Kershaw bobblehead night, and so the entire family out there. Jerry, I was wondering who's going to throw out the first pitch. He's got 4 kids. They're all throwing it out.
Oh, let it eat. Let it eat.
Oh, all right, Michael Grove will throw the first pitch coming up right after this.
Is brought to you by Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today and shop NissanUSA.com. And by Jack in the Box, introducing Snoop's Munchie Meal, available for a limited time, only at Jack in the Box. Dodgers and White Sox ready to roll. We go down to the field first. Here's Kirsten.
Thanks, Joe. Well, there's a couple guys not in the lineup tonight. One of them, J.D. Martinez. Dave Roberts told us that he just wanted to give him a day to kind of reset. He felt that he's been searching for a little bit at the plate. He is available off the bench, though. The other guy, Max Muncy, he is somebody still dealing with a mild hamstring strain. He's day-to-day. He was able to get on the field earlier today, took some grounders, also was in the K taking some swings. So he is feeling better, but it's still a day-by-day progression for him, guys.
All right, Kirsten, so it'll be Chris Taylor for the 3rd consecutive game at third base. One of the guys behind Michael Grove as he makes his 7th outing of the season. And he faces off with the Chicago White Sox, trying to pitch the Dodgers to a series win. The lineup that'll face off with tonight looks like this, with Tim Anderson to lead off, and then Gavin Sheets bats second as Andrew Benintendi gets the day off. Luis Robert bats third and roams center field. And then it's Eloy Jimenez batting cleanup and DHing. Had a good game in his first game back yesterday after missing a few with a leg injury. Jake Burger coming off his first career 2-home-run game. Bats fifth and plays third. Then it's Andrew Vaughn. Yasmani Grandal had 3 hits in last night's game. Clint Frazier's in left. And Elvis Andrus, the veteran middle infielder, starts at second and bats ninth. Well, Michael Grove missed the month of May with a groin injury, and while the stuff has played up since he's come back, it's not necessarily been reflected in the outcomes. He's given up 4 runs in both games.
Yeah, he's definitely better than what the ERA is showing, and I think this is a good start for him. We talked about it at the top against this White Sox team, but this is also a very right-handed heavy White Sox lineup. They're also missing Andrew Benintendi in their lineup, who's a big power lefty who's hurt his right hand. He got hit by a pitch last night and probably going to be out for a couple games. So not a lot of lefties, a lot of righties, which will play into the hand for Michael Grove.
Yeah, left-handers sitting close to 400 against Grove. Righties down around 250. So the 26-year-old out of Wheeling, West Virginia, gets ready to work against these White Sox, trying to get the win in this rubber match. 5-1 Dodgers on Tuesday, 8-4 White Sox last night. Tim Anderson stands in and takes ball 1. Off we go. White Sox 16-11 over the last month. So quietly, they've crawled back into the picture at 30-39. 9 games below 500, but 5.5 within first place, 3rd in the Central. Dodgers have dropped 7 of 10. Although Arizona today dropped its 3rd in a row, and so the Dodgers within 2.5 of the Diamondbacks. Chance to get to 2 today. First breaking ball induces a ground ball, and Chris Taylor's throw is in time to get Tim Anderson.
Been much of the same for Tim Anderson this season, about a 65% ground ball rate. It's been something he's tried to work a ton on, and honestly, you're going to see a lot of White Sox hitters hit the ball on the ground.
And usually very quickly do so, because this is an aggressive bunch, as we've seen over the first 2 games of this series. Gavin Sheets climbs in, and you think that's something that could play into Michael Grove's hands.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why you see Gavin Sheets, the only lefty in this lineup, but they like to chase. They're very aggressive. You'll see him swinging early.
Fastball in there, 1-1.
As Michael Grove gets ahead, allows him to use his best pitch, which is that slider. And he's going right. See that pitch, the movement that he gets on it. Definitely the miss.
Let's go of a 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on that slider right there. That was his best pitch when he was dominating at West Virginia. And didn't really have the feel for it when he came back from Tommy John surgery, but discovered it again this spring. And they nicknamed it the Mountaineer, the West Virginia native.
Seems like every pitch has got to have a name.
When it's that good, right? Best pitch has to have a nickname. Uses a spike curve grip on the Mountaineer. Home of the 2-2. The count goes full on Sheets. Now the White Sox 8 runs in yesterday's game after they had scored just 9 over the previous 5 combined. And this turnaround for them over the last month has been more about pitching than it has this offense, which they still think is going to hit. Waiting for it to consistently. That's scorched left side, but right at the lone man on that side of the infield, and Taylor. And 2 up and 2 down. Scoreless first inning. Here comes Luis Robert Jr. Homer and a double in last night's game, continuing this fantastic season for him. 16 homers, top 5 in the American League. He has just, when he's been healthy, been as good as anybody. It's just been a matter of keeping him on the field.
You could say that for this entire lineup. I mean, that is the story of the Chicago White Sox, staying healthy. And there's that chase we were talking about. And it's interesting because Luis Robert Jr. is so good at swinging at first pitch. He actually took a slider right down the middle, and then that's the one he swings at.
That was backwards. .25 years old, out of Cuba. Debuted in 2020, was the Rookie of the Year runner-up that year. Then injuries the last couple years. He had a torn hip flexor in 2021, hurt his wrist last year. Another 0-2 from Grove, and he fouls back 97. Also dealt with some blurred vision that he's gotten under control. Knock on wood for he and the White Sox. Everything else has been steady as far as the health, and laid the foundation for this great year. Takes this breaking ball, sends it in the air to deep center field. It's gone. On an 0-2 pitch, Luis Robert hits his second home run of the series and gives the White Sox the first inning lead.
Luis Robert Jr. has been on fire his last 9 games, hitting about 350. His 4th home run, scored 8 runs. And the biggest thing for this, Michael Grove, is bury this other batter's box. We saw him chase on a ball that bounced twice. 0-2 pitch, 2 strikes. This should be near the strike zone, especially for a team that chases so much. Instead, he gets too much of the plate, especially for a hot hitter like Robert Jr.
Who gets his 3rd home run in his last 4 games. 1-0 White Sox. And here's Eloy Jimenez. Fouls off the first pitch. Jimenez especially, Jess, the guy that you could say the same exact thing about as Robert, where he's been a monster when he's been on the field, but that has been not nearly as often as the White Sox have needed. 31 home runs as a rookie in 2019. Won a Silver Slugger in the short 2020 season, but then injury after injury. And this year he had an emergency appendectomy. He had missed the last 4 games coming into this series with just some lower leg soreness. But then he shows up last night and looks like he hadn't missed any time. 2 hits, including a double. 0-2 from Grove in the dirt.
Joe, he was standing on second base last night, and he was cringing. I mean, shaking out his legs. Like, he is not 100% right now, and he's still swinging the bat the way that he is.
26-year-old from the Dominican. Drives this ball to right center field. Betts is going back at the track, at the wall, and gone again. Robert and Jimenez go back-to-back against Grove, and it's 2-0 Chicago.
Another 2-strike home run, back-to-back. Talked about the slider on the last one. This is an elevated fastball, but again, I mean, Michael Grove, he throws a lot of strikes, but this is the problem with 2 strikes. You don't want to throw it over the white heart of the plate with these bats. This is a pitch. If you're going to elevate the fastball, elevate it. Get it out of the zone. Get the chase from a team that will swing out of the zone. And right now, just way too over the plate.
So 2 home runs, and now the guy that hit 2 home runs last night, and Jake Burger taking strike 1. Oh, and 2.
Yeah, stay there. I love this pitch from Michael Grove. And the way that he sets it up. I think being a young pitcher, just understanding when to get that chase, when to throw it off the plate.
And now you got to do it again when the guy looked that bad the first time. And this time he does, and Burger goes around to end the inning. That's the pitch Grove wanted to make to Robert. He didn't. Robert made him pay, and so did Jimenez. Tonight, 2-0 as Mookie Betts heads up there to lead things off, followed by Freddie Freeman and Will Smith. Jason Hayward DHs with JD Martinez getting the day off. In left field, it's David Peralta, Miguel Vargas, and James Outman, then Taylor and Rojas. Against Dylan Cease of the White Sox, who was the runner-up to Justin Verlander for Cy Young last year with a 2.20 ERA. Now he's been battling mechanics all year, just felt a little bit out of whack all year, but the last 2 he's looked a lot more like last year's edition of Dylan Cease. And he pours in strike 1 to Betts.
Joe, when he's going right, it's mid to upper 90s, elevated fastball, beautiful slider that he can throw off of that. He's actually throwing that pitch less. Throwing the fastball a lot more. He's got the curveball as well. He was one of the best pitchers in baseball last year.
Yeah, he had one stretch last year, Jess, where he went 14 starts in a row, 0 or 1 earned run. That's a modern day record, 100 years old. And he says for him, after years of tinkering with his mechanics and thinking his way through his delivery, it all clicked for him, where it became aim and fire. But how fleeting that feeling is, because this year he's gone back to that mechanical searching. 1-2 on Betts.
He's looked good. Really, his last 6 starts, the last 2 especially, just 1 earned run, 11 innings pitched, but his ERA under 3. Last 6, he just got off to a horrific start. You have that small sample size. You battle those numbers. Get out of your head.
There is that slider that you're talking about that a year ago statistically was the single best pitch in baseball after he found a grip that he really liked early on and started to throw it a little bit harder. Slugging on that pitch, though, is up 200 points this year. 2-2 pitch. Betts tries to lay off, but he went around, and he uses that slider for a strikeout.
He threw the pitch before Mookie didn't bite. Tried to get a little more closer to the plate.
Steady Freddie Freeman, who has gone hitless in the first 2 games of this series, and that's newsworthy because it's the first time since mid-April that Freeman's gone back-to-back games without a hit. Fouls off 97 down the middle. Still, though, 3rd in the league in average, 3rd in the league in OPS. It's behind Acuna in both of those, behind Luis Arraez in average, and now Corbin Carroll leading the OPS leaderboard.
He showed some signs of frustration last night because he was getting behind in the count a lot. He's behind again here, 0-2. One of the things that Dave Roberts talks about him, though, is says if any hitter has ever been around, he's never seen one that never takes a pitch off. Every pitch, all season long. He's like, I've never been around anybody that does that. I mean, you get greats, of course, but they're going to take some pitches off. There's going to be times they're not quite there. That's not Freddie Freeman.
Another 0-2 from Cease, digs out a fastball. Pops it into center field where Robert will put it away. I mean, you're going to see how many pitches in a season? 1,500?
Think about that.
Yeah. It's a lot of pitches.
And he said the thing is you can't train yourself to do that. You've got to have been doing it your whole life. So Freddie Freeman's been the kid when he's 8, 9 years old that's looking like this every pitch. And it's just what he does. It's all he knows.
2 gone in this first inning. Will Smith to the plate. And he fouls off Cease's first pitch. When you face a guy like Cease, Jess, you can kind of approach it 2 ways, right? You can say we're going to be really aggressive and not get to that put away count, not get to 2 strikes when he's so tough. Or we can hope that he doesn't have command and we wait him out and he's out of the game because of a high pitch count.
Yeah, and you're seeing kind of even Dylan Cease go back and forth. He started Freddie Freeman off 2 straight strikes. Here with Will Smith, he's kind of just been around the plate. Will Smith actually chased a pitch, which you don't see very often off the plate.
Two one. Ball 3. Dodgers saw Cease last June, and it was kind of the latter where they waited him out and made him work. Scored 6 runs against him, but he struck out 8, and so many pitches through the process, he was out of there after 4+ innings. And those 6 runs, by the way, unearned as his defense deserted him that night. .27 years old from Milton, Georgia, former Cubs draft pick, traded to the White Sox in the Jose Quintana deal 2017. Strikes out Will Smith, then bookend K's on a 1-2-3 first.
Dodger Stadium as the boys in blue take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Stay after the game for a fireworks show presented by California Pizza Kitchen. For tickets and more information, visit Dodgers.com/tickets.
Michael Grove to Andrew Vaughn. Fouls back first pitch fastball, 0-1. Vaughn has collected a hit, scored a run 4 consecutive games. After 1 for 4 night last night. 3rd overall pick of the draft just 4 years ago, Vaughn. On the hands, Grove saws him off. Bare hand play. What a play by Miguel Rojas. So smoothly picked that thing off of the dirt and threw him out in one motion.
Sawed off. You see the bat split off. Miguel Rojas, a great read, but knowing the only play, bare hand, he might have even been able to glove it. But when you got this kind of skill, why not show it off?
That's what I was thinking. Like, usually you see a guy make a bare hand play and it's bang, bang.
Yeah. Could have probably gotten to the glove there.
Wouldn't have looked nearly as cool, though.
Definitely not.
He made it look easy.
Right? That is not an easy play.
Yasmani Grandal, after a 3-hit game last night, ahead here 2-0. Grandal hitting for a higher average this year. He's been an on-base guy the last few seasons. An extraordinary walk rate, especially in 2021, but he's changed his style, much more aggressive. We're in his 12th year in the major leagues. 4th and final year of a contract with the White Sox. On a 2-1 from Grove. Grandal swings and misses. 2-2. Base hit right center. 4th hit over the last game plus for Grandal.
He had some great at-bats last night. 3 hits. I'm doing a lot like this. Not high exit velocity, just getting enough, finding grass. Almost sitting breaking ball there.
Grandal aboard and Clint Frazier up. Chase swinging out of the box. Clint Frazier, who is the 5th pick of the draft, has gone from the Yankees, 5 seasons there where he was one of their top young players, to the Cubs last year. Missed a lot of last year after undergoing an appendectomy. Cubs cut him loose. Spent spring training with the Rangers. They cut him loose, but he's landed with the White Sox and played pretty well over his first month plus with the team. On a 1-1 from Grove. Frazier takes high. Ball 2. So 5th overall in 2013 was Frazier. He eventually got to the Yankees in the Andrew Miller deal. He was drafted originally by Cleveland. And he was drafted 27 picks before Aaron Judge. That's where he stood coming out of high school in Georgia. Fouls this ball off his foot, and it's 2-2. He just never seemed to really be able to find comfort in New York. He'd get going a little bit, and then there'd be an injury, or somebody else would come up and steal playing time from him, and it just kind of fizzled out there.
I just remember how excited the Yankees organization was in that trade to get him, and he was then became a no trade option. A lot of teams, when they were talking midseason, because you remember his first years, the Yankees were not very good, and that's when Aaron Judge, of course, was coming out, the baby Bombers.
Strike 3 called. Breaking pitch to the outside corner.
Nice job. The slider, getting Frazier looking. Seeing Michael Grove be able to use that pitch in a multitude of ways, both sides of the plate, but also burying it in the other batter's box or getting that corner.
Second K form, 8 away from Jumbo Jacks for everybody. Runner at first, 2 away. Elvis Andrus out of the 9 spot. Takes a strike. 34 years of age in his 15th year. It's the longtime Texas Ranger, who was one of the top young players in the American League when he first got to the bigs, debuting at the age of 20. Fouls this one off, and it's 0-2. Last season started with the A's. They released him in August. White Sox picked him up, and he made enough of an impression over the last month or so that they signed him to a 1-year major league contract.
One of the hardest things for him in this point of his career, too, is playing second base. He talked a lot this year about how hard that's been. I think a lot of people assume middle infield, it's the same. Shortstop, second. It's really not. It's exactly backwards.
Mathematically. geometrically.
It feels like it. It feels like you're standing on your head. Had to play both sides, and Nomar knows this. He'll tell you what it's like to sit on the right side of the field, and it's just a different beast over there, and Andrus has talked about that.
Strike 3 called. Grove gets a little bit of help there from the plate umpire Jacob Metz, and he's got 3 Ks through 2. Bottom of the second, and time for AT&T Fiber fast pitch. Dylan Cease's fastball is down more than a mile per hour. Part of the issue this season for him. That ERA 2 full points higher. Jason Heyward pounces on the first pitch that he sees and rips a bullet foul. Seems like everything this guy hits is like that, whether it's straight or not. Even just watching him take batting practice, you know, some guys just really, you can feel and hear them compress the ball as they make contact. He does it like very few guys do.
Well, Joe, you know what it's like. You're standing around the cage, you're getting in a conversation, you're chatting it up, guys are hitting. When Jason Heyward's hitting, you stop your conversation. You're like, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. The sound of off the bat when he swings it. Plus, it's a beautiful thing to watch, and it's been really cool to watch him in a Dodger uniform. All those years in Chicago and the struggles, the mechanical changes, and knowing what was there.
Fouls this one back. Yeah, because it was not pretty to watch in Chicago, and he'd be the first guy to tell you that. But he's ripped off those Band-Aids and finds himself healed.
And in a role that's been pretty cool to watch. Leadership that he has brought to this team. And one of the things that Dave Roberts talks about, bandwidth, and a lot of guys aren't cut out personality-wise, bandwidth-wise, to be able to lead and perform and do the things that you need to do to contribute to your team. He's like, Jason Heyward has this bandwidth where he can be so many things and still perform.
Chase is here, 1 gone in the second. In Chicago, they still loved him because he was a leader and he ran the bases well. He was a good fielder. He just didn't hit. Well, here in LA, he's hit and he's been all those things that he's always been, and some of the things that he always will be, even as physical skills diminish over time, as they do with everybody. The presence has remained elite, and he's doing all the things offensively that he did in his best days. One away for another veteran. David Peralta takes a ball.
This is the oldest lineup in baseball, and they rake. They run. They do so many things well, and a lot of it's due David Peralta, what he brings, the fire, the excitement.
That is caught at first on a short hop by Andrus. Here's talking about the difficulty in moving from short to second, but made a nice play right there.
That's a great play. This was smoked. I mean, off the bat, this is a base hit. Andrus does a good job going down. A bit of an Olay behind him, which you lose sight of. He made it look really easy.
Cease has retired the first 5 Dodgers. It brings up the rookie Miguel Vargas. 0 for 1 with a walk yesterday. 1 for 4 in this series. 97 from Cease, but a ball. One on one. Two on one. Cease fires and misses a little high. Ball 3 on Vargas.
That slider is all over the place. I can tell he's frustrated with that pitch. 2 hopped it and then threw it up above the strike zone back to back.
And the misses with the fastball. The Dodgers have their first base runner. He got so comfortable with that slider last year, Jess, that there are a lot of games where he said he felt just as comfortable throwing the slider exactly where he wanted it as he did his fastball.
And you mentioned how much he destroyed hitters with that pitch. They hit 128 against it. And when he can dot it because of how good it is, I mean, Shoot, you saw Mookie Betts, one of the best hitters. I mean, he got fooled by it in his first at bat.
And kept alive for James Outman, who's got a new look. Goatee is gone. He said the goatee was out of hits, so he shaved clean.
Don't cut the locks.
No, you can't cut those. Unless the slump continues, and then, you know, all bets are off. He's ahead here 2-0. James looking for his first hit of this series. Really, this goes back a while, though. He's 4 for his last 42. Strikeouts in half of those at-bats. He's passed the first test with the facial hair change, though. His wife, Dasha, says she likes it. She thinks he looks good. So it's a good start. Now he hopes the hits follow. 2-1.
You pull American or women, and I'd say most are not fans of facial hair.
Huh. High strike, 2-2.
Now you got to ask Libby when you get home.
Yeah, she's like, whatever. Yeah. You look fine. Hard to talk facial hair and not bring up the great mustache that Cease rocks.
Right? Must have come back with a vengeance.
Strong. It's like he knows the camera's out. He's shooting glances at you right in your soul. Here it comes to the 2-2. He strikes out Outman with a high fastball, and he's got 4 Ks over 2 scoreless innings. Carl's Jr., where all your charbroiled burger wishes come true. Back-to-back first-inning home runs for Luis Robert and Eloy Jimenez, and the White Sox up 2-0. Top of the order here, Tim Anderson shoots the first pitch that he sees into center field in a base hit. His first one of the series, and it snaps an 0 for 13 for him.
See a nice line drive swing from Tim Anderson. Joe, the White Sox yesterday had early hitting at 2 o'clock, and they had a machine set up with screens almost across the entire infield, so that no one could hit the ball on the ground. They had to hit line drives and fly balls. I've never seen that before. They had a special machine that they travel with. They set up. Pedro Grifol was like, we are going to stop hitting the ball on the ground. And Tim Anderson leads the team in that ground ball percentage. You saw him ground out in the first inning, but working on that launch, that perfect degree to try to get the ball a little bit more in the air. And shoot, he hasn't had a home run since last July.
It's crazy. Now, the power part is shocking, but so is the average. This is a guy who over the last 4 years has the #1 average in the American League at 318. Comes into this game at 253. Grove to Gavin Sheets with a 1-1 pitch. Anderson runs. It's popped back and out of play. And it's got to make you think he's still slowed by that knee issue that he missed time with earlier this season. Last year was a groin and a finger injury that limited him to 79 games. But it's just not the same guy.
No, he is not 100%. He'll tell you he's fine. Talked to him numerous times. I'm good. Tim Kirchin asked him yesterday if he could still dunk. He's like, are you kidding me?
That'd be a hard yes. Sheets, hard liner, Mookie Betts. Yeah, because Sox fans know the story well, but Tim was more of a basketball player. He didn't even play baseball until he was a junior in high school. Won a state title as a basketball player and was thinking he was going to go that route, but the knee that he's dealing with right now, he's had knee issues throughout his life, and so bad in high school that they ended his basketball dreams. And that's when he decided to pick up baseball and kept his career going through the junior college route. Strike one on Luis Robert. East Central Community College in Mississippi, Tim went to. Undrafted after his first year there. And he said, to heck with that. I'm going to go just make sure that I get drafted. 495 as a sophomore. 17th overall pick the next year. 4 years after he picked up the sport.
Yeah, that's the incredible part. I'll try baseball.
Yeah.
You're a junior in high school. And I mean, everyone knows now that kids are starting at 5, 6, gets competitive by 9. Like, he's like, what's this bat and ball thing?
0-2 on Robert. And you think back to the first inning, Jess, that is the pitch Michael Grove is probably kicking himself for not making on 0-2. Got way too much of the plate with a breaking ball that Robert hit out. Has him 0-2 again. This time uses a fastball to get it by him. 97 by Robert. First strikeout on something other than the slider. And one away in this third inning. Time for StatCast powered by Google Cloud. Those 2 home runs for the White Sox in the first inning. Robert was followed by Jimenez, who went the other way with his.
Robert wins. 418, 377.
Yeah, simple math.
Eloy's just barely got out. I thought Mookie going to try to have a chance at it.
The other way, though, you get some added points for doing that.
That's true.
Right?
A little oppo.
How about Ohtani's opposite field home run last night? 460 or something the other way.
This opposite field home run by a left-hander. Shoot, righties would love to pull it that far. Seems like we're always saying Ohtani's doing something for the first time ever.
I actually have an Ohtani update from tonight if you'd like it.
He's
and I think you
pitching,
would.
right?
Yeah, 6 strong innings and he had a 443-foot home run.
It's 22 now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he leads definitely the American League. I'm guessing all of baseball.
Yeah, he is past Pete Alonso, who's on the IL for the Mets.
Aaron Judge, now that he's on the IL.
Dodgers going to get to see Ohtani next week. It's a couple games down in Anaheim, and they'll see him again here at Dodger Stadium a couple weeks after that.
I wonder where we'll see Ohtani next year. That's really the question.
Could you see him at Dodger Stadium?
That's what I'm putting that out into the universe.
It's a great idea.
Dodger blue.
Breaking pitch, chopped to third. Taylor will cut it across the diamond in time. And a couple scoreless innings for Michael Grove settling into this game.
This month, join us at Dodger Stadium from June 23rd through the 25th as the boys in blue battle it out with the Houston Astros. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/tickets.
All right, Kirsten, Dodgers trying to get the offense cranked up as Dylan Cease misses with the first pitch to Chris Taylor. Third consecutive start at third base for Chris tonight, with Max Muncy still waiting for that hamstring to feel right. And Taylor quietly, you look at the baseline numbers and they're okay, but especially against left-handed pitching has excelled. And since the start of May, his OPS is 777, which is almost dead even to what it was when he was an all-star in 2021. So quietly he's taken flight here this year. On this 1-1 from Dylan Cease, Taylor takes a strike. Taylor, Rojas, and Betts looking for their first hit against Cease. Late time given there by Jacob Metz. The 1-2, Taylor chases. And the 5th K for Cease.
He's had a hard time controlling the slider, but when he is able to get that chase, we've seen now a lot of Dodger hitters having a hard time being able to lay off of it, especially when it's way out of the zone, which makes me wonder why he's ever even thrown it in the zone.
First one to Rojas is a curveball for a strike. Don't throw that nearly as much as he does the slider. 2-hit game for Rojas last night. Jeez. Another chase on a slider. Oh, 2. Barely got a piece. Back to the curve that time. All breaking stuff so far on Rojas.
Seeing a lot of chase in this Dodgers lineup, not usual.
Another 0-2 is a fastball to get him swinging. The breaking pitch after breaking pitch after breaking pitch, and by the time you realize that thing's a fastball, it's by you.
Changing that eye level. Just breaking balls with down, knee, and below, and then you elevate 96. It's going to look like 101.
6 Ks over the first 8 outs of this game. Back to the top in Mookie Betts, who is a strikeout victim himself. Mookie riding an 8-game hitting streak. Generous outside corner for strike 1.
That's a tough location to get called if you're a hitter right here. You know the slider is going to come off of it, so that means you got to protect things off the plate, which you don't want to do against what Dylan Cease is throwing.
Goes out to get this fastball into center field for the first hit of the game for LA. Extending his hit streak to 9 games.
Joe, this is why Mookie's so good. He calls strike off the plate. All right, I'll go there. This might be off the bat, but I can reach it. Plop it in the outfield, no big thing.
That's actually the one area of the plate where Betts has not hit this year. Pitches away. This continued uptick in power. A lot of it has come middle in. But able to single on that pitch away. Get Freddie Freeman to the plate. He takes a strike on the outside corner. Oh, Freddie's.
He's feeling it.
Flight out to center field his first time. Hitless in 7 at-bats in this series. And in an 0-2 hole here, time for our Burger King ruling the plate. We're talking about Tim Anderson, the top average in the American League the last 4 seasons. Top averages in baseball. Freddie Freeman second, behind Luis Arraez, just ahead of Anderson.
Arraez still sitting around 400.
Check swing. And Ronald Acuna has moved into second currently in the National League batting race, hitting .333.
Speaking of other players that can hit opposite field just hard. Acuna. And Freeman. He might not hit it as far as Ohtani, but he owns left center.
Says his issues come mostly when he forgets about left center. Even though that's always his approach, there's still times where you fall into trying to pull the ball, he says, and that's when he struggles. And it's all relative. Quote unquote struggles.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 0 for his last 7, and it's newsworthy.
It's crazy. That's how good he is. I mean, right now, down 0-2, you can see he's frustrated. He's slowly working his way back in this count.
To 2-2. Cease comes home, and Freeman fights it off. Will do it again. Average at .330 this season for Freddie Freeman. .298 career hitter. Another 2-2 pitch takes off, and the count goes full. His goal every year is to hit .300 to OPS .900. It's currently .979. To drive in .100 and to score .100. And he often hits those goals. Betts will get a head start with the 8th pitch from Dylan Cease to Freddie Freeman. It is popped up at third. Jake Burger. Whoa, boy, a little bit of a circuitous route to that ball. Dodgers get their first hit, but still searching for their first run. Mobile coverage cam on Clayton Kershaw bobblehead giveaway night. Huge crowd on this Thursday night. Everybody coming in to get this giveaway. And the whole Kershaw family getting involved in the fun. Ceremonial first pitches, 4 of them, with only 1 catcher. Had to play goalie back there. Charlie says, wait, it's my turn now. And delivered a strike from the mound. Jake Burger takes a strike. Now, Clayton has talked about so much of his continued enjoyment doing this job is that his kids are getting old enough to appreciate and enjoy it as well. Especially Charlie loves being around the clubhouse and coming to the field and playing. And his year-by-year look at things. Am I going to sign another 1-year contract? Is it going to be in LA? Is it going to be in Texas? He said, I wouldn't be a very good agent because I pretty much said it's only going to be those 2 places. But a lot of it has to do with how his family feels about it, where the family is in life stage.
Ellen is the ultimate supporter too, and her family and what she's done, obviously with their foundation, but also with Clayton.
Burger lifts the ball to left center field. Jake Burger has his 3rd home run in the last 2 games. And the White Sox have their 3rd tonight. So on 3 solo home runs against Grove, it's 3-0 White Sox.
This has been Jake Burger pretty much the last week. This is his first time too playing in Dodger Stadium. 2 home runs last night, 1 tonight. His wife is actually a huge Dodger fan growing up. Told him joked with him, said, I'm going to root with the Dodgers while you're playing, just so you know.
The other 159 games, though, I love you, honey.
Yeah.
Andrew Vaughn, who grounded to short his first time. Backs up, doesn't get the call, 2-0. This is sort of what the White Sox were supposed to be, right? A team that would bash a bunch of home runs and combine that with, and he had Cease coming back, Lynn always reliable. You figured in a division that was up for the taking that they would be at the head of the pack.
That's what's remarkable is as disastrous as the beginning of their season is, they're still in the mix. That's how the Central has been.
That ball is pummeled and back-to-back for the 2nd time tonight. That thing's gone in a hurry. Andrew Vaughn with his 9th of the season, and it's 4-0 White Sox, bringing the boos from Dodger Stadium.
Number 24, Yasmani Grandal.
Another fastballs, back-to-back home runs on fastballs. The 3 prior to this, both with 2 strikes. This one a 3-0 count, just trying to pipe something over. Clearly the green light. That's one of the things with Michael Grove too, is he really pitches. It's a huge, very high strike rate. These White Sox hitters, they've been teeing up, knowing that he's going to come over the plate. For a team that's not afraid to go way off the plate to swing as well. I mean, they're an incredibly aggressive team.
One and 2 on Grandal.
And they have a 55% chase rate tonight. I mean, you feel like, especially when Grove gets 2 strikes, don't go anywhere near the zone. They will chase.
On 2-2, Grandal bangs the base hit the other way. So Grandal's 2 for 2 and 5 for 7 the last 2 games.
Taking a slider, 2 strikes. Joe, and this is a team that doesn't usually put up a lot of runs. I mean, they've been known for their pitching as of late when they've gotten their wins, especially the last month of the season. There'll be times they'll put it on, but they have not had the type of production that we've seen, especially the last 2 nights.
Yeah, going into last night's game, Jess, they'd scored 9 runs in their last 5 games. And then they got 8 last night. They've got 4 over the first 4 innings tonight. And they've got Clint Frazier at the plate. The 8-hitter takes low. Frazier gets under this one, and in right center field it'll be Betts or Outman. James Outman to call on the catch for the first out of the inning. And here's Andrews.
Number 1, Elvis Andrews.
Dodgers are going to see the top 2 guys in the American League Rookie of the Year voting from 2009. Back-to-back nights. You got Elvis Andrews, who was runner-up, and the 2009 Rookie of the Year winner, Andrew Bailey, who's now the Giants pitching coach.
I would not have
No.
guessed that.
That's when you click on the leaderboard and it's like, okay, he finished second. Who finished first? What? Andrew Bailey, the Oakland A's. Giants coming in hot, by the way. Hottest team in baseball over the last month at 19-9. Just finished off a sweep of the Cardinals.
NL West is fun right now. I mean, it has always been the Dodgers division, but the Padres, the team everyone talked about coming in, they've won 5 of their last 6. The Diamondbacks, of course, have the lead. Very fun team to watch, super athletic. And the Giants, it's going to be a fun series this weekend.
Only 2 games separate the Dodgers and the Giants at this point. You know, so the Dodgers over the last month have gone 11-15. The 2 best teams in the majors in that same time, Arizona and San Francisco.
It's been an interesting year that way, just across baseball. I mean, the teams that were expected that spent all that money, like the New York Mets, even the St. Louis Cardinals, San Diego Padres, not started off. And now it's not even started off. I mean, we're getting to the All-Star break. You have teams like the Pirates, Tampa Bay coming out the chute.
Padres down 7-6 currently against the Guardians. If they come back and win that game, they'd be at 500 for the first time since May 12th. Gary Sanchez.
Yeah.
New life as a Padre. Another 3-2 to Andrews. He is lifted off the end of the bat to Betts and right. And an easy play for out number 2.
Shortstop, Tim Anderson.
Back to the top, Tim Anderson, who snapped an 0 for 13 his last time up with a single. Looper of a curve for a strike. Ground ball left side. Rojas hustles over to get there. His throw to second just in time to get Grandal and end the inning for the second time in the first 4 back-to-back home runs for the White Sox. Will Smith to lead off this 4th for the Dodgers. course, he's been excellent this year. Second in vote getting for catchers in the National League. And you talk about an MVP caliber guy. You look at what it's meant to have him in the lineup. He had that stretch where he was out with a concussion earlier this year. They were below 500 team over those couple weeks. 0 for 1 with a strikeout today. Just given the way the schedule has gone lately, they've been able to start him almost every game. Yesterday was a break after 8 consecutive games started. 10 games in an 11-game stretch. A 1-0 from Dylan Cease is in for a strike. Hit a bit low, ball 2. Hit his 10th home run of the year on Tuesday.
Start off this series, and anytime you try to get inside of Will Smith, bat speed, the arms that he's got, not a place you want to go. His bat's been actually quiet too since the end of May. Hitting under 200, uncharacteristic for him because he is so constant, very consistent. I'd say it about a lot of hitters in this lineup. It's usually not long.
Leadoff walk for Will Smith. Second one the Dodgers have drawn against Cease tonight. And so Dylan Cease has been able to have this run of success, even though he continues to issue a lot of walks. Even last year, as he had a 2.20 ERA and was runner-up to Verlander for Cy Young, he had the highest walk rate in the American League.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I had to blink because, you know, I saw the numbers. I saw what he did last year. You get all the the sexy stuff and the strikeouts and the swing and miss, and then going through notes today that he led all of baseball in walks. Still second in Cy Young. It showed you too the chase that he would get.
Towering pop fly up into the clouds. When it comes down, Andrew Vaughn will make the grab.
Those ones are scary. Andrew Vaughn's even saying that. You'll see guys lose it in the lights, lose it in the sky.
Kind of that color sky tonight too, where you might lose it.
Anyone watched college baseball this last week? That's how Stanford got to the College World Series. Texas lost the ball in the night sky. 4 players. Bottom of the 9th. Stanford walked it off.
Did you do a little cheer or big cheer?
Oh, there was a loud cheer. I did feel for Texas, though. It's not the way you want to end your season. Exciting time, though, for baseball right now. The Combine next week. World Series starts tomorrow.
Are you promoting
just baseball?
Your other employer?
Oh, I just go as a fan.
You know you're into it when you're touting the Combine as the exciting time for baseball.
It is.
1-1 to David Peralta is popped foul. Let's see if Berger has room. He does.
I just like to get to know the futures, like who the guys are coming up. Guy like Miguel Vargas, he comes up for the first time and you feel like, all right, I saw you win.
Drew a walk his first time. Dodgers had their own little mini combine for Miguel when they were finalizing their plans to sign him out of Cuba. And one of the last things they wanted him to do was to run, to see what kind of speed he had. And it was a rainy day, so they didn't want him to run on the field. So they put him on the sidewalk. And he takes off on a dead sprint. And after about 30 feet, pulls up. Ah! He pulled his hamstring. They go, no, have I blown it? No, they'd seen plenty. They'd seen plenty of that bat.
You know he was running as hard as he possibly could.
1-2 pitch. We'll do it again. Good take. 2-2. Dylan Cease to Miguel Vargas with a 2-2 pitch. It's fouled straight back.
Snyder kind of backed up on him. Almost jammed him. You see, that pitch is an accident for most pitchers, but it can work really well. Goes in the opposite direction.
Another 2-2 and a curve. Drops in for strike 3. And Cease has 7 Ks over 4 scoreless innings. It's brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. 4-0 game, top of the 5th inning, and you can stream Dodger baseball at home and on the go on the Spectrum Sportsnet app. Sportsnet LA is available 24/7 to authenticated subscribers, so download the Spectrum Sportsnet app today. Back-to-back home runs in the first and in the fourth for the White Sox. Gavin Sheets takes ball 1 from Michael Grove. Now the White Sox have 7 home runs over the last 2 nights. These 7 homers, the most they've hit in a series this year.
This is a lineup too without Andrew Benintendi, who got hit by a pitch last night, stayed in the game. But someone who's really struggled this year, still being hurt. There's a lot of players in this lineup that are about 70% playing through.
Green light, 3-1.
Of course, the Dodgers have had their share of injuries. 659 days on the IL, only behind the Mets.
Full count. Grove to Sheets for the payoff pitch. Yeah, that's a leadoff walk. First walk of the game. Shelby Miller begins to warm, and we go down to Kirsten.
Thanks, Joe. With Shelby Miller yesterday, he was down because he was dealing with some neck stiffness. Today, of course, he is good to go and feeling better. And the big thing is that he is able to give down multiple innings for the team, especially with being a bullpen game tomorrow. It's important for them to try to get as much length as possible out of the starters today, guys.
Luis Robert comes up here. That's one of the 4 White Sox home runs in this game. His 17th of the year, top 5 in the American League. The 25-year-old from Cuba, defected when he was 17. Swings and misses at a fastball, and it's 0-2.
Eagles slider here cannot be near the strike zone. Good job by Will Smith, because that's what you want him to do with that pitch, bury it. It's Skokicki. Rather it hop in front of the plate than give him something he can drive, because that's the pitch he hit out in the first inning.
It's one of the things he's made his name for throughout his career. One of the best hitters on pitches that aren't necessarily right down the middle. Right here he chases and can't get to it.
This is a great job, and this is exactly what Michael Grove wanted. It's a pitch that he wanted to get back. If he could take away the home run that was left over middle, it was this pitch. Same pitch, and that's what he wanted to do with it. He gets another chance. Buries him here.
His 5th strikeout of the game. 5 more and free jumbo jacks for everybody. Jimenez. 2 for 5 yesterday in his first game in almost a week. Was out with some lower leg soreness. And a home run tonight for Jimenez. Chases this breaking pitch, and it's 1-1. Two.
Really like what Michael Grove is doing right now. He set up pitches, even though the first pitch was a ball off the plate. Same location as the home run he had given up. Trying to just kind of entice him with the same pitches, but not throwing it for a strike. And Jimenez is biting.
On a 1-2, Jimenez bites again. 2 out. On back-to-back Ks for Grove.
After the fastball away, goes slider away. Yes, he did.
Two gone in the 5th. Jake Burger to the plate. Home run his last time after 2 home runs yesterday. And into the top 5 in the league with 16 total. Swings and misses. Strike 1. 11th overall pick in 2017 was Jake Burger, so big time expectations. Could just flat out hit. But then he tore his ACL in 2018. Came back, tore it again. So again going through the rehab. Wondering if he's ever going to get back. Wondering if he wants to continue doing the rehab, and seriously considered retiring. His friends and his family talked him into continuing to try to get to where you've always dreamt of going. You're not that far away, and he got to the majors. And even though it's been back and forth since he got there, he's finally settled in here. Started this season in AAA. He came up about a week in, and he's been their best hitter. Stuck with it and finally realizing his dream. On a 1-2 pitch, chases strike 3, and that's 3 straight Ks after the leadoff walk for Grove. Halfway home in a 4-0 game.
Supporting the Home Run Challenge. Visit MLBtogether.com to learn more.
2 in the 1st, 2 in the 4th for the White Sox. Bottom of the 5th inning. Dodgers just 1 hit against Dylan Cease, who drops in a curveball for a strike on James Outman. 7 Ks, 2 walks. Now, when he faced the Dodgers last year in Chicago, 4 scoreless innings to begin, but then gave up 6 runs in the 5th. Dodgers try to get to him here. And typically, as the game goes on, he's like most guys, more hard contact.
I think the biggest story tonight has just been the swing and miss on pitches outside the zone. Dodgers usually don't do that a lot. They're doing it tonight.
On cue there.
For half the time they've swung at pitches, chased him out of the zone. That's why he keeps going back here. Slider way below the zone. Outman bites.
One gone in the 5th inning for Chris Taylor. Strikeout victim his first time. Bottom of the Dodger order, 0 for 5, 5 Ks. Dylan Cease, the rare guy wearing 84 first number 84 in Chicago White Sox history. One of only 8 of them in the history of baseball. It's got a reason for it.
I was just going to say.
No, there's got to be a reason a guy wears 84, right? He loves yoga, and there are 84 poses in a traditional yoga practice. So it's his nod to his love for yoga. Popped up on the infield. Who wants it? Who wants it? How about a foul ball? Oh, boy.
Wow.
2-2.
Of course it rolls foul. I mean, first of all, there's 3 people that can catch this. None of them wanted any part. Jake Berger kind of slowly jogging in. Grandal was camped under and then said, somebody?
They all did an 85th pose. The statue. Just stand there and the ball falls.
All right, so how many poses can you do?
I mean, I know a few of them. I didn't know there were that many until I read about Dylan.
84.
84.
I see you nailing like a tree pose.
You want to say that again?
I see you nailing like a tree pose.
It sounds pretty simple. It's that
Warrior 1.
not as, yeah. Downward dog.
There we go.
3 and 2. On a payoff, Taylor grounds it foul.
It's cool too. So many pitchers, players now, like the type of cross training, different things that they do to get their body in the positions that they need to get them into.
Taylor takes the walk, refusing to chase the breaking ball that time, and they've got their 3rd free pass against Cease, whose pitch count is up above 80. As we get a quick word from Carl's Jr.
Famous Star Burger. Tonight, my rewards members get exclusive offers on the Carl's Jr. app.
Rojas trying to get the table set for the top of the Dodger lineup. Struck out his first time. Oh boy, that is scary.
'95, literally at his head. I feel like the pitch clock needs to give you like an extra 20 seconds. Gather yourself.
Visit coming here from Ethan Katz, one-time pitching coach at Harvard Westlake.
Home of Lucas Giolito is one of their starting pitchers. He was talking about this is the first time he's returned to Dodger Stadium since he was a kid.
Wow.
It's crazy to think about. I mean, the White Sox haven't played here since 2017, and he was just chatting up the memories. He's like, I used to roam the right field stands, and they do all-you-can-eat Dodger dog nights, and I'd eat like 30. Huge Dodger fan growing up.
Yeah, Katz had him. He had Jack Flaherty on that staff.
Max Fried.
Max Fried.
That'll make you a pretty good coach, that's for sure. Those 3 dudes, same high school.
That'll help make you a big league pitching coach. Resume you can build with that. A 2-0 to Rojas. Swing and a miss. Found it with a slider. Here's a 2-1. Same thing, 2-2. Seeing a slower version of the slider. this season compared to last year when it was 88, 89 as the year went on. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Rojas chases. 3 chases. 2 out.
This has been the story for this lineup tonight. Unusual, way off the plate too. This is the knuckle curve.
Two gone in this 5th inning. Mookie Betts at the plate. Getting his 3rd look at Cease. He's got the lone hit against him tonight. And here he takes strike 1. First 2 times through the lineup, opponents have an OPS below 700 against Cease, well below average. 3rd time that they face him, it's up above 800. Taylor at first, 2 gone, and a 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, hit hard and through, and Betts has both hits against Cease.
Two different pitches, same location from Mookie Betts. Watch his eyes too. As soon as this ball is released, he picks it up, understands it's a breaking ball, pokes it up the middle. You saw him go get a pitch way outside, do much of the same.
Two on, 2 out. Freddie Freeman trying to change this game here. One ball, no strikes. Freeman takes ball 2. First chance for the Dodgers with runners in scoring position tonight. This is a spot where they fell short last night, going just 2 for 13. Freddie Freeman has been at his best in these situations. Taylor at second, Betts at first. In the driver's seat with a 2-0 count. Chops it foul. One. Off the middle, backhand by Andrus. Throw to second in time to end the inning. Andrus to Anderson, and we've played 5 innings, 4-0. Brought to you by your Lexus dealers. The White Sox with a 4-0 lead on 4 solo home runs in this game. Robert and Jimenez back-to-back in the first. Berger and Vaughn back-to-back in the 4th. And the night is finished for Michael Grove. And so 3 starts since coming off of the injured list. All 3 of them he's given up 4. Who's in, who's out, brought to you by In-N-Out. This is Shelby Miller making his first appearance since coming off of the bereavement list. And Kirsten reported that he was down last night. He was in Arizona while away from the team, drove back from Arizona, and like so many of us have experienced before, long time in the car, felt he had a stiff neck and just gave it a few extra hours to work itself out. And he's ready to go here.
Look at the numbers on the season too, and that's why the Dodgers are excited to have him back in a bullpen that needs some help. Hoping to get some length from him.
Andrew Vaughn, one of the home run hitters. Hardest hit ball of the year for Vaughn. It was out like that. 112 off of the bat. On a 1-0 for Miller. He shoots one off of the hands. Gently hit this time. An easy one for Vargas. Well, the bullpen has told the story in so many ways this year. And you look at the differences in the wins versus the losses. In the wins, the Dodger bullpen has a 1.78 ERA. In the losses, they have an 8.79. Now, that gap is always going to be wide, but that is one of the widest gaps in baseball, wins versus losses, performance of the pen. One away for Grandal, and ball one from Miller.
I mean, it's really just been the story. The amount of losses, too, that the Dodgers have had when they've had the lead going to the bullpen. Last night was an example of that. Clayton Kershaw, 6 innings pitched. He had the 2 solo home runs that he given up. The Dodgers had taken the lead when he handed the ball off to the bullpen. It's just such a different story from last year. This is the best bullpen in all of baseball. And it's not that the personnel is a lot different. I think that's probably been the biggest shocker. Yes, there's a few more guys on the injured list, a couple that aren't on the team, but for the most part.
In the left field, Peralta's there. They get Grandal for the first time. Daniel Hudson continuing to work his way back. Sounds like a trip to Oklahoma City's coming sooner rather than later, and that they hope that that's a very short AAA ramp up for Hudson. 2 gone for Clint Frazier. And then you hope for the domino effect from that, where it knocks everybody down one notch into a little bit lower leverage situation.
Yeah, the guys were talking about that in the pregame show, is how important it is to have just a set closer, someone that you know can take the ninth. Use Evan Phillips for high leverage situations, and a night like last night when Clayton Kershaw goes 6, you know, okay, we just need the 7th and 8th. We know who's got the 9th. Instead of 6 pitchers trying to cover those 3 innings.
Did he go? He did. And Shelby Miller's got a 1-2-3-6.
What pose was that?
All right, Dodger fans.
For the birth of their first child, James Beard award-winning chef Christina Martinez hosts David Peralta and Victor Gonzalez at her highly acclaimed restaurant in Philadelphia. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers tomorrow.
Dylan Cease still going. Bottom of the 6th inning. 9 Ks for Cease in this game. Strike 1 on Will Smith. Strikeout and a walk for Will. Hayward and Peralta to follow. No balls, 2 strikes. And you could take just a replay of that pitch, kind of put it on repeat, and that's spin tonight.
I was going to say he's gotten more swing and miss on that pitch than he's gotten throughout the season. It looks like a repeat of what he did last year, and he's been able to throw that and get a lot of chase.
Into center field. That's a leadoff base hit for Will Smith.
How about the adjustment, though, from Will Smith? He swings and misses at the slider on the pitch before. You see it below the zone. Now he waits, gets it a little bit higher. Same pitch off the plate, but Will Smith, a nice job driving this pitch up the middle for a hit.
So now Hayward, one of the hottest hitters coming in. 345 over his last 10 games. 0 for 2 against Cease. Takes a lollipop high, ball 1. Reynaldo Lopez begins to warm. 98 pitch coming from Cease. To 1-0 to Hayward. And it's a high strike. Went around 1-2. Cease has thrown as many as 113 in a game this year. This would be the 4th time that he's exceeded 100. And a great sign for the White Sox. He seemingly has found it these last few starts. There's 2 runs over his last 17+ innings. A 1-2 to Hayward. Swing and a miss.
It's 10 strikeouts, a season high for Dylan Cease. And you know the pitch is good, the slider, when you're throwing it middle. Take a look at it, 88 miles an hour. It's one thing to get the miss when it's out of the zone, but in the zone, just shows how much movement's on the pitch.
1 away for David Peralta, who's one of the 2 guys in the lineup tonight that hasn't struck out. Freddie Freeman the other. And he got Grandal with a backswing there. David Peralta is hitting .444 here in June. On an 0-1 pitch. Cracks his bat on a teardrop base hit into center. Couple soft singles in this inning against Dylan Cease. 2 on with 1 out.
That's what you're going to get tonight from a pitcher that's been dealing. Talked about the 10 strikeouts, and this is a beautiful job of just shortening up. Yeah, he gets jammed, but it's enough. And instead of getting the miss, he gets contact and muscles it out in the outfield. 2 consecutive hits, 2 hits in the inning for the Dodgers.
And it's going to chase Dylan Cease from this game. One of those guys, one of those nights where you're saying, good, anybody but Dylan Cease. 5+ scoreless, although the men at first and second, his responsibility as the Dodgers tap into the White Sox bullpen.
In blue take on the Giants. The first 40,000 fans in attendance will receive a Father's Day bucket hat presented by Security Benefit. For more information, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
All right, Kirsten, this is Reynaldo Lopez out of the White Sox bullpen. He's been one of their top arms, been a big part of this turnaround for the White Sox over the last month. He's not given up an earned run in more than a month.
You look at the arms out of their pen in June, Joe, and it's been unbelievable. I mean, you look at his ERA over the course of the season, but a 1.87 ERA in the month of June, and the White Sox have had their success. A lot of it's come for starting pitching. You saw Dylan Cease hand it over, and now the bullpen.
Dodgers trying to make some noise here. Down 4-0. They've gotten singles from Smith and Peralta in the inning. And Lopez will face Vargas. The Dodgers 2 for their last 14 with runners in scoring position back to yesterday's ball game. Only 1 opportunity tonight. Second one coming here for Vargas. First pitch that he sees, a fastball at 97 for a strike. Reynaldo Lopez, 29 years old, out of the Dominican Republic, former Washington National. Deals in 0-1 and the dirt 1-1. Debuted when he was 22 years old, one of the top prospects for the Nationals. And acquired in the same deal that brought Lucas Giolito. Adam Eaton was the return on that trade. The 1-1 offering. Vargas floats it to right. Sheets. So 2 gone, it's Outman. Struck out twice against Cease tonight. He's 0 for his last 7 in this series. 5 of those 7 ABs strikeouts.
Had a couple flyouts last night. He just missed. Dave Roberts was talking post game about feeling like he's just missing. But then there's been a lot of that. Swing and miss.
into center field. That's a base hit for Outman. Smith is stopped at third. Roberts' throw is right on the money. And Dino Ebel has studied the arm of Luis Robert and chose not to push the envelope with a 4-run deficit. Probably a good choice with that throw. And so the bases are loaded.
It was a good choice. Robert Jr. would have had him, especially because of how hard Outman pokes this one out of the outfield, a slider. Same pitch that he missed. See Luis Robert Jr. almost enticing. You see him look like, go ahead.
I dare you.
Yes. He paused for a second.
What a throw. Now the Dodgers have the tying run at the plate in the form of Chris Taylor, who takes ball one. Taylor has a strikeout and a walk in this game. The Dodgers, as those of you that tune in so often know, lead the majors in grand slams this year. 7 of them after they hit 2 all of last year. The 1-0 from Lopez. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Taylor has as many home runs this season as he did last year. He's got 10. He's got Smith at third, Peralta at second, and Outman at first. 3 singles in this inning. The 1-1 pitch. Taylor hits one in the air, and he's tied the game. A no-doubt grand slam. Man, oh man, did they need that.
Oh, 98 coming in, 102 going out of here. How about the exhale too? Chris Taylor, as soon as he makes contact, you see the blowout. No doubt, as soon as he hit it.
And now Rojas down the line, peeling to the foul line, but foul.
I just love giving this place a reason to party, and they exploded on this one. Quiet offense through this game, even the back end of last night. No more. This game all even.
Barrels are overrated against the team that phrase was invented for Chris Taylor in Chicago. One of his first years with the team, he went up there and had 4-for-4 game where he didn't hit the ball harder than like 60 miles an hour. Barrels are overrated. Was born. Plenty of barrel to tie the game against the White Sox years later. And just kind of a lifeless feeling in here prior to that swing. He said given the place reason to party. I mean, that loud crack of the bat brings this place to life, injects some life into the game, into the team. Won't be an easy play. Anderson, not in time. Infield hit, Miguel Rojas.
Get down the line. I mean, he reaches around this. Go from 102 miles an hour. This one's like 50 miles an hour, but it don't matter. The way that he gets out of the box and grinds it. Not known for his speed, but it doesn't matter when he gets a hit. Legging out an infield single.
Not known for his speed, and he's battled leg issues this year. Good to see him hustling up the line like that. All right, tie game, top of the order. Mookie Betts, the 8th man to bat in this inning, and it feels like Dylan Cease left this game 2 years ago.
Well, you nailed it, Joe, when you said for any hitter, when Dylan Cease came out of this game, it was thank you. Of course, it was the pitch count, not so much the hit, the 2 hits that he had given up, and 2 of those runs now going to be charged to him.
On 1-0, Betts takes outside. Rojas takes off, got a great jump, and picked a good run to run on. He's stolen second.
Forget the speed. He's the fastest Dodger that we've seen. Infield single. And yeah, this was given to him. No chance for Grandal. Lopez did not even look.
To quote the great Ellie De La Cruz, I am the fastest man in the world. Base hit could give him the lead.
The great Ellie De La Cruz.
2-1.
Is it 2-week MLB guy now?
Yeah, it's been a great 2 weeks though, Jess. Between the way he plays and quotes like that.
Oh yeah.
Legend. Betts gave him the lead last night in the 6th. Dodgers scored 4 times in the 6th, as they have tonight. Last night it was to take them from down 2-0 to ahead 4-2. Here it's even the issue at 4. Mookie Betts, one of the best in baseball this year. Runners in scoring position and 2 out, such as this. On a 3-1. He sends one in the air to right center field, but he got under it. And Gavin Sheets will catch it to end the 6th. But one loud swing from Chris Taylor. He surpasses last year's home run total in grand fashion. A game-tying grand slam. After 6, it's 4-4. Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times. Finally, some good times in this game as Chris Taylor ties it with a grand slam in the 6th. And the conversation pivots back to the bullpen, which we're talking about as Shelby Miller came in with a 4-0 deficit. But his job has a new layer to it. Instead of just trying to get length to set things up for the weekend, he's now trying to keep them in position to have a shot to win this game.
Really clean, too. 6th inning that he came in for, and 3 quick outs.
That's down the line. Base hit for Andrews. Extra base hit. Elvis Andrews into second with a leadoff double. And just like that, the Sox have the go-ahead run in scoring position.
Shortstop, number 7, Tim Anderson.
This White Sox team swings so much, so aggressive. Will jump on anything you leave over the plate. And we've seen that this game.
Back to the top and Anderson. 1 for 3. The White Sox last night responded after the Dodgers took the lead with a 4-run 6th. They got 3 runs in the 8th. They got 3 runs in the 9th. Given the Dodgers their 18th blown lead loss this year. They had 21 last year, the whole year. Chopper foul. It's just it's a tough way to live. I sit in the Dave Roberts chair, and for that entire team, these are deflating ways to lose games.
He said it after the game. They have to be better, period. For him to have confidence in who he's going to go to. And for the team today.
Tim Anderson just blinks through it. On 3 pitches. 1 away. And a quick word from Morongo.
Thanks for voting Morongo, the best casino resort in the Southland.
Now, quite a signing they have here in Shelby Miller, who says he's coming off what was for him an eye-opening return to the minor leagues last year. This is a guy who's been an all-star in the majors. It's been years, though, since he's really latched back in the major leagues. First one to Gavin Sheets come after a toss of second. But last year, Shelby Miller pitched in 47 games. 43 of those were in the minors. And he said as hard as it was, it brought back a lot of the memories of why he loved baseball in the first place. You know, the memories of grinding to get to the major leagues. Back to even before he was a pro. You know, as a kid thinking of working hard, practicing hard, dreaming of getting there. And it kind of rejuvenated. So being away for as long as he was and then going through a fully healthy season like that, successful one that had the payoff at the end, 4 games to show off at the major league level, and parlayed that into the deal with the Dodgers.
It's incredible that he had the opportunity to experience it and then had the upside at the end, because you hear that with a lot of players, especially when they hit their peak, the expectations coming into the seasons after that, and then they're gone. But it's that humility, I think, is what you have to realize, is almost recreating kind of what you're about, mindset, mentality. So if you go in thinking I'm still the best and you don't change anything, you don't come back.
1-2 to Sheets. Ground ball right side. Vargas gets there to save a run. 2 gone in the 7th. Andrus to third, but only to third.
Saves a run, leaving his feet, and also doing a good job of still getting the runner. And this is something because he puts himself in a position with the spin move, gets the knee down, and a good throw over to Freeman.
Not out of the woods yet, far from it. Luis Robert Jr. 1 for 3 with a home run.
It's incredible watching his at-bats, Joe, because he will have some ugly swings. At times it's like a 3/4, not even close to it, and then the very next hit, it's almost like he messes with you, like, oh, I'm not even close. And then he can crush the next one.
Nancy Almonte perhaps going to get a chance to get right back on the beam. .2-0 from Shelby Miller. Swing and a miss. Nasty splitter. Ball 3. And he figured Miller was going to be very careful with the way he approached Robert. Jimenez, no slouch on deck. The 3-1. That's ball 4. And so first and third for the White Sox, and Jimenez will come up to bat.
I don't hate that walk. 2 outs, and I know you mentioned it. Eloy has been swinging a hot bat as well, but Luis Robert has been their best hitter. And you do not want to miss. Saw that back, his home run in the first inning.
Jimenez and Robert went back-to-back in that first inning. Since then, he's grounded out. He's struck out. 2 on, 2 out in a tie game in the 7th, and ball 1 a little bit inside.
And that's the pitch. If he can locate that the way he did on the strike to Luis Robert Jr., it's such an impossible pitch.
Oof. Took a fastball down the heart.
This is when you know a hitter's sitting soft. When 95 piped, and you take it.
So then it's, I know that he's thinking, that I'm thinking, that he's thinking. What do we do this time? Runner goes, swing and a miss, no throw. Now back to third, and they've got Andrus and a run down. Taylor dives and tags and ends the inning. Smith fakes the throw to second, guns it down to third, and Taylor uses his speed to catch up to Andrus. A diving tag, a stretch, and a tag to send us to the stretch, tied at 4. On calendar as the San Francisco Giants come to town tomorrow. John Brebbia is supposed to start what would be a bullpen game for the Giants. Dodgers plan still unannounced. It'll be Bobby Miller on Saturday, and then on Sunday, Logan Webb and Tony Gonsolin. So here's how the inning ends. Taylor fakes the throw to second, Smith fakes the throw to second, goes down to Taylor at third, who, man, I think he thought this was going to be a little easier chase job than it wound up being.
Like triple tagged him coming down. Shelby Miller so fired up to get out of that inning.
Joe Kelly on to pitch, ball 1 to Freddie Freeman.
And what was a gift from the White Sox? I mean, that had like all the Little League fields to it. Fake down a second. Oh, caught him coming off a third. I think it helped that Eloy Jimenez in the right-handed batter's box almost blocked Elvis Andrus from being able to see Will Smith.
Oranges and pretzels for everybody back in
Yes.
that dugout.
Makes such a good team dad.
Thank you. Kelly pitched in last night's game. The former Dodger hesitates and throws and misses away, ball 2 on Freeman. Joe's a guy who a lot of teams are going to be calling about. If the White Sox decide that they're sellers, they got a roster full of these guys.
Right.
Kelly, 35 years old. In his second season with the White Sox. Just misses with 99, and it goes to 3-1 on Freeman.
100-mile-an-hour sinker that he's got. The White Sox have a few guys out of the pen that are throwing 100. Just incredible. You're right, a lot of guys that could go to other teams. The White Sox decide to sell.
Feeling is that it's going to go right down to the last minute with them, and that if they are in the race, they're not gonna. And man, it's looking like at this point they're going to be in the race because nobody wants to run away with it.
And the market is non-existent because the additional wild card teams, everyone's in the race.
Freeman lofts one into left center field for Clint Frazier. And the first out. Yeah, and so there's some thought that if it's going to be a busy deadline, it's going to be between contenders.
Yeah, and I just think, especially because of the way that the AL Central is going, is it's not only just, well, the wild card opportunity, I think, is out for any team in the AL Central. You got to win the division, but the division is, I mean, anyone's right now. But the game is a lot more fun when a lot more teams are willing to sell. Get the contenders to be able to really add to the rosters, and obviously the Dodgers would be one of those.
And a runaway souvenir ball out there. Will Smith in this game has reached his last 2 times up, struck out in the first inning, but then walked and started last inning with a single. First of 3 singles ahead of the Taylor grand slam. None of the singles were hit particularly hard. Taylor made up for it. Tie game 4-4. 1 ball, 1 strike on Smith. Dodgers have a chance to climb to within 2 games of the Diamondbacks, who lost earlier to the suddenly hot Phillies. Phillies just doing it again. Going to wait until June and take off. They've won 9 of their last 11.
It was August by the time they were getting over 500. It's incredible. But another reason why no one thinks they're out of it. We've seen now so many teams that were under 500. The Nationals did it back the year they won. Shoot, the Braves. Basically, the NL East just does it every year, it feels like.
Counted it's 2-2. Braves this year have the best record in the league. So the Phillies, even with the work they've done, still 8 games back in the division. They're 3 back of the Marlins, who seem to be more and more for real every day. Here in LA, tied at 4. Bottom of the 7th inning. Bases empty, 1 gone, and a 2-2 from Joe Kelly to Will Smith. Long pause, and the pitch. Full count. Kelly's one of those guys, just it's fun to watch pitch.
Yep.
He just varies all his deliveries and the timings. And he's a guy that Dodger fans really learned to love.
Even off the field, he's just fun to be around.
He walks Smith, who's on for the 3rd time tonight.
The mariachi band here forever, having his life-size version of the mariachi get-up that Joe Kelly definitely loved here in LA.
On her first one away, Jason Hayward takes ball 1. On 1-0, Hayward fouls it off, 1-1. 1-2. Hayward chases and has a 3 strikeout game tonight. 2 away in the 7th.
This is the slider. You're gearing up for 190 down at your ankles.
Go ahead, run aboard. 2 gone in the 7th inning. David Peralta's the hitter. 1 for 3. Had a single as part of that rally last inning. Came in to score. Slashes a ball to center field. Robert was shading him in that direction, and he runs it down to end the 7th. For the 2023 Spectrum Sports Educator Sweepstakes. 8 winners are going to receive a $50 gift certificate from Shakey's Pizza and a teaching kit. Go to SpectrumEducator.com to enter online. Now, one night after Yency Almonte gave up 2 runs, he's going to get another shot here, and he had really started to pitch well. He'd given up just 1 run over a 9-game stretch. And he said that, combined with knowing that he can do this over a full season, was dominant last year, so it made it so frustrating last night. Felt like he was finally starting to hit his stride, and it feels like Dave Roberts putting him right back out there, saying, no, you still are hitting your stride, and we've got to have you. And his first pitch to the cleanup man, Eloy Jimenez, is outside, ball 1. As the Dodgers hope to get back to last year's form in the bullpen, he's a guy that they can lean on, because he's a guy whose fortunes have kind of matched that of the pen year to year, where he was one of the best in the National League last year and has a 675 here this year. It's 1-2 on Jimenez. 3 straight sliders. Backed up on him, but found the zone.
Yeah, the numbers have been incredible, the jump, and you're right, it's a reflection of the bullpen. And it's also, I mean, you look at the stuff, that sweeper that he throws, how he can throw it, and it's so close to being right. And the numbers are definitely not reflecting the stuff. It's still there. I'd say it's him and Alex Vesey are the 2 that I, circle when you look at how good they were last year and how much they've struggled this year. But they continue to grind. Dave Roberts continues to give them opportunities.
Another 2-2 pitch, and nothing but sliders to Jimenez. 1 gone and a strikeout.
Now, how about this pitch that he threw probably 5 different ways? And oh, I love that tight look at the spin. You see it kind of sweeping across the zone and just look like it could be something you can poke into right field, and then no way.
That's the 10th strikeout of the game, and so Jumbo Jacks for everybody tomorrow. Jake Burger chops the first pitch foul.
How perfect is that?
Hey, yeah.
10 Ks.
Jumbo Jake.
Jumbo Jake. Get your burger.
One, 2. So it goes nothing but sliders against Jimenez, and then he cracks a couple fastballs in on the knuckles here to Burger.
It's the location of that fastball, and this is what, when he's going right, so good. Into these right-handed batters, just get in their kitchen. And then throwing that slider away.
Back up slider for strike 3. Not at all where he wanted it, but he'll take it.
Or just back it on up. Hey, I'll take it.
It's the sound of a large vehicle backing
Oh,
up.
thank you. I'm glad you
yeah.
clarified that.
Okay.
No, I got you. I just couldn't finish what I was going to say.
Because I made a sound of a truck backing up. I'm sorry.
I felt like you were with your kiddos.
Vaughn taking a ball. as one of the 4 home runs in this game for the White Sox. That's how they've gotten their runs. 4 solo shots. 1 ball, 1 strike. All 8 runs in this game coming off home runs. 4 of them for the White Sox, 1 of them for the Dodgers. Grand slam from Chris Taylor in the 6th. Dribbled in front of the plate. Will Smith pounces on it, and that's a 1-2-3 bounce back outing from the NC Monte. To stay tuned when this game finishes, John and Jerry and Nomar to break it all down. Tied at 4 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the Dodge order coming up. And a new pitcher on for the White Sox, Gregory Santos, who pitched in last night's game. The 23-year-old from the Dominican Republic. First couple seasons with the San Francisco Giants and having a great year in his first year in Chicago.
He came into the 5th inning last night, finished off actually JD Martinez with the strikeout and then struggled. That was actually a bulk of the runs the Dodgers ended up scoring. It was against him in the 6th. They tied up the game, or went ahead in the game.
Well, Dodgers have a chance to win this series, even though they've only scored in 4 innings in this series. They've done it with a big inning. Had the 4-run first inning on Tuesday, keying the 5-1 win. Had a 4-run 6th inning last night that gave them a short-lived lead, and then tonight the 4-run 6th inning again. Ball 1 on Miguel Vargas. 0 for 2 with a walk. 1 for 6, 2 walks in this series. Santos throws. Vargas swings and misses. Outman and Taylor to follow in the inning. Two and two.
Santos likes to live kind of in that tunnel. Glove side, 99 fastball, and the slider off of it.
Got him. 100 with devilish movement. 1 away in the 8th inning, and a quick word from Nissan.
This Dodgers broadcast is brought to you by the 2023 Nissan Frontier. Shop NissanUSA.com.
Well, Outman struck out his first 2 times tonight. Went into his at-bat last inning, or in the 6th inning, still looking for his first hit of the series. Got it to get Taylor to the plate. Set up the grand slam. Strike 1 on 100. Goatee gone, and the fresh shave had a hit in it.
Like what James Outman did there too. Gets down so quick, 0-2, and with the pitch timer now, you feel like you're rushed. So many hitters have talked about that, and he took time out, just kind of collect himself.
The 1-2 takes off, 2 and 2.
Because you've been told your whole life, just slow the game down. It's your pace. Take your time. Feel like things moving too fast. You don't have to get back in the box. That's changed. Outman recognizing that moment.
2 out. Back-to-back Ks for Santos. And here comes Chris Taylor. No doubt what the play of the game to this point is. Brought to you by your Southern California Volkswagen dealers. His 11th home run of the year. A game-tying, game-changing, mood-changing, volume-changing, everything-changing grand slam. And now with 2 gone in the 8th. Takes ball 1.
What's the difference in these two? offense is the Dodgers get runners in scoring position on base. The White Sox, they only have one walk the whole game. They've out-homered the Dodgers 4-1, but all of them solo shots.
Now there reaches a point as a pitcher where it's like enough is enough, but if you say you give them up, not a huge deal as long as they're solo shots. And again, 4 home runs, way more than any pitcher wants to give up, but the fact that they were all solo shots has kept the Dodgers within striking distance. A 2-1 pitch. Taylor swings and misses 2-2.
Santos has got the good stuff tonight.
Chance to strike out the side for Santos. Home with the 2-2. Sox will have the bottom of the order coming up in the 9th inning. Grandal, Frazier, and Andrews. Evan Phillips. Another 2-2. Taylor takes it high. Count goes full.
That's a great take. Chris Taylor knows that's a zone that he doesn't have a lot of success with. He's looking for something lower.
So the majority of Santos' pitches have gone. This one does, and he lifts it off the end of the bat to right for Sheets. Gregory Santos, a 1-2-3-8. On to the 9th we go. Tied at 4. Trying to keep it right here, set up a chance at a walk-off win.
Evan Phillips, the most consistent guy out of the pen. We've talked so much about the woes, but he's been the one that Dave Roberts says when he needs an inning, when he needs someone to close it out, whatever the need may be, it has been him that's been #1, but at the top. The numbers show it, not maybe the same as they were last season. He was absolutely dominant to start this year. Struggled a little bit in June. Still the most that they are going to rely is on him.
It's the bottom of the order for the White Sox. Grandal, Frazier, and Andrews. For the Dodgers in the 9th inning, they'll have 9-1-2 coming up. In this series rubber match, Dodgers took Tuesday's game 5-1. White Sox 8-4 last night. Grandal, another multi-hit game. First pitch slider for a strike. 3 for 5 last night. He's 2 for 3 tonight, enjoying his return to Dodger Stadium, where he spent 4 years of his career. Turns on this high fastball and just pulls it foul.
Grandal is seeing it big right now. He's had 5 hits in the last 2 games. That's matrix moves right there.
Right. Oh, 2. Got him. Strikeout of Grandal to open the 9th for Phillips.
This is the pitch nobody's hitting too. That sweeping slider, you'll see it come inside, then just drop straight down here. Beautiful break on a hot hitter.
Now it's Clint Frazier. 2 Ks is part of an 0 for 3 game. Bunts it foul. That shows you what he thinks about Evan Phillips stuff.
Right. And how he's feeling at the plate.
Mm-hmm. Going 2. Got him on 3 pitches. Back-to-back Ks for Evan Phillips.
Just hitting over a buck against this pitch, and he just threw it over and over to Clint Frazier. No chance. That's just 5 for 46 on that pitch.
And overall, just hitting 174 against him. 2 gone for Andrus. Doubled his last time. Takes a little bit low here. Four runs on 8 hits for the Sox. 4 runs on 7 hits for the Dodgers. Dodgers are trying to win a game in which they gave up 4 home runs for the first time in 2 years. They've lost the last 10 times they've given up 4 home runs in a game. A 2-0 is by him, and it's 2-1. Driven the other way. Back goes Betts. Edge of the track. He's got room. A 1-2-3 ninth inning for Evan Phillips. Dodgers looking for a walk-off win. Rojas will lead it off, and then it's Betts, and then it's Freeman. This game 4-0. They tied it with a grand slam from Chris Taylor in the 6th, and now they look to win it against Kendall Graveman.
He's been their closer for most of the season. Liam Hendriks out, and then now back on the IL, and he has been really good, especially when they've gone on their streaks. Struggled this last weekend, but Kendall Graveman with the stuff to be able to close out games for them. Fastball hit about 98, slider and a changeup off of that.
The Graveman, who pitched through some arm soreness in April, had an ERA up around 5.5. 1 ERA since the start of May. He's given up, you mentioned the issues this weekend. That's the only time he's allowed runs since the start of May.
Yeah, he had almost 17 innings straight, no runs.
Dodgers saw him last night. He issued a walk in the 9th inning, but got a double play ball to face the minimum. And so the Dodgers go hunting for their 4th walk-off win of the year. It's Rojas, Betts, and Freeman coming up. Graveman's first pitch is fouled off. Now, Rojas had a really hard time against Dylan Cease. Just didn't seem to be seeing his breaking stuff, and chased a bunch, struck out twice. But then has got to face somebody else. Got an infield hit in the 6th inning. Takes a ball here, and it's 1-1.
Infield hit, stolen base. Showing the legs are still working.
Ground ball has eyes. Leadoff base hit for Rojas. Didn't have much speed, but it had great vision and found a hole up the middle. And the winning run is aboard to start the 9th.
This has been Rojas, too. Bottom of the lineup. Second infield hit. Doesn't hit it hard at all. In fact, he's made Tim Anderson work. First to his right, now to his left. No chance.
And it's Mookie Betts at the plate. Strike one from Graveman. You mentioned the speed that Rojas showed his last time, stealing second. Graveman's been hard to steal off of, but Yasmani Grandal behind the plate has the slowest pop time in baseball. And so Graveman's got to do his best to help him. Pop time, what that is, the time between the ball popping the glove for the catcher and popping the glove for the middle infielder on the throw. And he's the slowest in baseball, point A to point B.
Which wasn't something that mattered until this year as much. More runners are stealing.
That is on the ground left side. Berger goes to second with a high throw, and because the throw is high, that's all they'll get.
He might have had a chance at a double play, but Berger running off his front foot. High throw, no chance at turning this one.
Freddie Freeman. You can never hold Freddie down for too long. This is going on longer than it ever does for him. 0 for 10 in this series. A little bit low, ball one. Extra pause from Grandal, wondering how that wasn't a strike. Betts has 5 stolen bases this year. Freeman's going to use his time. 5 walk-off home runs in Freddie's career, all in Atlanta. On a 1-0 pitch, takes in the dirt. Big stop there from Grandal. Playing goalie.
95. This is textbook right here. Using that chest protector, keep it right in front of you.
Dodgers trailed this game 4-0. Chance to win it in the 9th. Betts at first, 1 away. 2-0. Ball 3 on Freeman. Will Smith on deck. .3-0. 4-pitch walk, winning run into scoring position.
What an at-bat makes, too. I mean, Miguel Rojas being able to start this inning with a hit. It wasn't a hard hit, but Graveman taking a lot more time now.
Take even more time here with a visit coming from Grandal. The pitching coach Ethan Katz coming out as well as Will Smith gets ready to bat. Now most of the late game drama has gone the wrong way for the Dodgers lately. Tough loss after tough loss. 3 consecutive losses in walk-off fashion on the road trip. The late loss last night. Trying to give the opposition a little bit of its own medicine from lately. Will Smith to the plate. He's got 3 career walk-off home runs. A couple more walk-off hits.
Will Smith, one of those players who's just built for these kind of moments, too. You can't tell if it's the first inning, if it's the bottom of the 9th. Always the constant, very much the same.
From the moment he got here, straight face, baby face killer. 2 on, 1 out in the 9th. Strike 1 on Will Smith. 97 comes back to the outside corner.
And that's a backdoor, too. I mean, the way that that ran, look at where it starts and then comes back over the plate.
Got some crumbs in the oven mitt.
Yeah, he might need a new one. It's got a giant hole in it.
Yeah. Here it comes. Down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mookie doing all he can to take Graveman's attention away from the plate. Doing enough where second baseman Andrus having to come pay attention to him, play closer to the bag than he maybe wants to. Will Smith loves to hit it the other way. A lot of room over there. 2 balls and 1 strike.
I love what Mookie's doing at second. And it's already a win. Just getting the infield to shift a little bit more and making Kendall Graveman look at you a little longer.
Pop fly down the line. Here comes Sheets, still coming. Foul ball. 2-2.
As much as the Dodgers have had some walk-off losses, the White Sox too. They've had 5 walk-off losses this season. It's tied for the 3rd most in Major League Baseball. So they're familiar with this situation as well.
Well, they had just started to get things going. They were playing the Marlins this past weekend, and they suffered back-to-back blown leads in the 9th inning. Staring one down here. A game they led 4-0. The 2-2. Full count on Smith. Graveman didn't look like he's comfortable with his landing spot. There's kind of an awkward follow-through in his delivery.
He's been way off lower half to upper half. And you'll see it on that glove side. He's had big misses over there.
Will Smith trying to come through. He swings and misses. And they're down to their last out here in the 9th. Try to get it done before extras. It'll be up to Jason Heyward.
And Graveman cranked it up a couple more miles an hour. He's been averaging 95, 96. This one 98.
Jason Heyward, who has reignited his career here in Los Angeles. Takes strike 1. Came into the game swinging a hot bat. Hitless in 4 at-bats tonight, though, with 3 strikeouts. Here comes an 0-1. It's a bouncing ball along first and foul. And quickly 0-2. Jason Heyward, more than a decade in the major leagues, 8 walk-off hits in his career. On this 0-2 from Graveman, he swings and misses, and Kendall Graveman digs deep and finds it. A leadoff hit, a walk in there as well, but he strikes out Smith and Heyward to get the game into extras. Inning, especially given the fact that the top of the order is coming up for the White Sox. He worked the 1-2-3-9. And for just the 4th time this year, he'll work more than 1. Andrus, the free runner, he's at second as Tim Anderson comes to the plate. 1 for 4 in this game and 1 for 12 in this series. And Phillips needed just 10 pitches for the 1-2-3-9. First one that he throws here will move the runner up, but retire Anderson.
Gavin Sheets.
Runner at third, one gone. Here's Gavin Sheets. Infield's going to come in. Evan Phillips has thrown as many as 26 pitches in a game this year, so still plenty left in the tank. After just 10 pitches in the 9th, and 1 pitch to get the first out of the 10th. Ball 1 on Sheets. 0 for 3 in this game, 2 for his last 28. .27 years old in his 3rd year. Sheets takes ball 2. After Sheets, it's the big hitters, Robert, Jimenez, and Berger. Here's a 2-0. Ripped down the line, foul. And it's 2-1.
Sheets the lone lefty in this lineup. Andrew Benintendi getting at least a night off. May be in the lineup in this place.
Two and two. Only the 3rd extra innings game of the year for the Dodgers. They're 2-0. Count goes full on Sheets. This is the 8th extra innings game the White Sox have played in. They're 3-4.
Think about the base running blunder that they had a couple innings ago too. This game would have been over.
That's a walk to Sheets.
Could have been over. They've had a lot of mistakes in this series, but even last night a few errors, but ended up coming in with the win. You look back at the 7th inning, and the fake throw, Will Smith sells it. Andrews went out to dry, and that was huge. Shelby Miller with the fist pump, excited to get out of that inning.
Same situation they have here. Andrews over at third base. Luis Robert to the plate. He can really run, although the double play is set up here with this walk. First one from Phillips. Swing and a miss. Back up slider. Greatest pitch in baseball, especially tonight, huh?
He's throwing it so well because Luis Robert Jr. was sitting slider. Not that slider.
This game has been all or nothing. 28 strikeouts between the two teams, and all 8 runs have scored via the homer. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball foul, 1-2. Of course, it's something baseball still wants to see go down, those strikeouts, but pitchers throwing harder than ever, stuff moving more than ever. And a home run is still the best possible outcome for a hitter. So hitters are still pursuing those.
It's just hard to string consecutive hits together. I mean, that's the thing, you'll get hits, but to get them enough to score a run.
Strike 3 called. Slider gets Robert. Huge second out for Evan Phillips.
I'll tell you what, it hasn't been the traditional sweeping slider that you'll see from Evan Phillips. It's been this one, the one on the arm side that he gets on the inside part of the plate to these right-handed batters. It just fools Luis Robert Jr. clipping very bottom of the zone, maybe?
Yeah, ish.
Asim got it.
Andrews at third, Sheets at first, up to Jimenez. Runner takes off, swing and a miss. No throw from Smith and no budge from Andrews. He says, fool me once, shame on you. You ain't gonna fool me twice. Well, as the White Sox know all too well, having played in so many extra innings games, getting that free runner home often feels like holding serve. With the runner stealing second, Jimenez looking at a chance to give him a 2-run lead, which is what you feel like you got to do to feel good going into the bottom half of the inning. Jimenez, who's 1 for 4, homered in the first inning. On a 1-1 from Evan Phillips. Chases a slider. That was more the sweeper.
Yes.
1-2.
Where it starts to where it ends up. Getting more chase.
The 1-2. Cued off the end of the bat and foul. Barely got a piece of stale eye.
Now you're catching Eloy. He's leaning. Everything has been away, trying to protect.
That's how Yency Almonte struck him out, slider after slider. More the plate with that than he probably wanted. They have, by the way, inserted Andrew Benintendi as the pinch runner at second for Sheets. Another 1-2 from Evan Phillips. He struck him out. Evan Phillips kills the ghosty runner. No runs in extra innings, and the Dodgers can win it by scoring their free runner. As we go to the bottom of the 10th inning, tied at 4. Evan Phillips, 2 scoreless innings, including a scoreless 10th after the free runner obviously put out there to begin the inning. Bummer's on to face Peralta, Vargas, and Outman. Although with the lefty on the mound already, Johnny DeLuca has jumped into the on-deck circle.
It's interesting too because Aaron Bummer, he's got reverse splits. He actually gives up more hits. 2 lefties. The righties are the ones that have struggled against him.
Free runner for the Dodgers, Jason Hayward, who has good wheels. Benintendi's now in left field. Frazier moves over to right. So a chance for Johnny DeLuca. He bounces the first one up the middle. That'll advance Hayward to third. A low throw that nearly ends the game, if not for Vaughn scooping it out of there. 1 pitch in, and they've got the winning run 90 feet away. The Dodgers, 1 year after they went 6-9 in extra innings games, trying to get to 3-0 here. And it's Miguel Vargas at the plate.
17, Miguel Vargas.
Infield in for the Sox. Both teams able to advance the runner to third on the very first pitch of the inning. Can the Dodgers finish the job? White Sox couldn't.
Vargas here. JD Martinez now on the on-deck circle.
James Outman spot in the lineup. Vargas is saying, we're going to make that a moot point. Trying to end it here. On an 0-1, Vargas takes a perfect pitch for strike 2. Oh, 2. The 1-2 pitch. Pop fly, right side. Grandal giving chase, makes the catch. 2 gone in the 10th.
Gosh, and those are the big outs, because with less than 2 outs, saw the infield pulled way in. So many ways to score a runner from third. Instead, pop fly.
Hitting for the Dodgers, for 28, JD Martinez.
And as you previewed, Jess, it's going to be JD Martinez pinch hitting for James Outman. But he's going to be put on. And they're going to take their chances with Chris Taylor. Martinez was given the day off because he's been in a funk over his last 13. He's put on base, and instead of the guy who's over his last 13, they're going to face the guy that has the grand slam in this game.
You start looking at the numbers, and I'll tell you what, though, Chris Taylor, forget him coming in. The swing that he had is the reason why we're in extras. Tied it up. Back in the 6th.
Special in that it tied the game. Special in that it was his 100th career home run. And like his first career home run, a grand slam. Don't you a little bit as a hitter have to say, really? I mean, I know that JD Martinez second in the league in slugging, and yeah, I get it, but
not now, because numbers are what rules the game. It says this is what you do in this situation, and not so much what happened the last at bat, the last 3 at bats. That's what the numbers tell you. And for the White Sox, it's saying that Chris Taylor is a better option than JD Martinez.
But if I'm Chris Taylor, I'm saying, come on.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'll show you.
Especially because Taylor has just owned lefties.
Bummer, by the way, does have 2 wild pitches this year. Runner goes from first, a strike on the outside corner. Martinez into second. Just take that force out of the equation. Chris Taylor fouls it off, and it's 0-2. Aaron Bummer trying to do what Evan Phillips did. Put up a 0. So tough to do in this extra innings format. Got him. Both teams fail to score the free runner, so we keep on going. We're talking about the bullpen playing a huge role one way or the other in this game. And how about the work for the Dodger bullpen? Grove went 5 innings, gave up the 4 runs, 2 scoreless from Miller, scoreless inning from Almonte, 2 scoreless from Evan Phillips, and just 1 hit along the way.
That's the recipe for wins for the Dodgers. Now it's just been a matter of getting that runner in the bottom half of the inning, holding him again here. Got the big dogs coming up too, starting with Jake Burger.
Pinch runner at second base. It's Romy Gonzalez. It's going to be Eloy Jimenez, but Gonzalez will be the free runner for the White Sox. And you mentioned Jess, Burger, then Vaughn and Grandal against Caleb Ferguson. 5 scoreless innings out of the pen tonight. Only 1 hit. 8 Ks over those 5 innings for the bullpen. Sox have struck out 15 times in 10 innings. Burger has the home run, but 3 Ks. First one from Ferguson is swung on and missed. A couple defensive changes for you. Johnny DeLuca, after pinch hitting, stays in the game and plays center field. And Jason Hayward, who was the DH to begin, is now in left. Didn't get the call there. 97, a little bit in. Ball 2. The only game still going at this point. D-backs played earlier today. If you happen to just tune in, they dropped a 5-4 decision to the Phillies. Dodgers a chance to get back to within 2 of Arizona. 2-1 pitch. Strike 2 on Burger. It's almost like shocking when one of these guys takes a strike.
Yes, because they're so aggressive at everything. A lot of times they're taking it, it's been middle.
Swing and a miss. He chases strike 3.
Those are the ones they swing at.
Burger unable to advance Gonzalez. 1 gone in the 11th.
Smart decision in pitch calling to go upstairs with this. 96 miles an hour above the zone.
.32 strikeouts in this game. That's tied for the most in a game in the majors this year. Andrew Vaughn saying, I don't have anything to do with that. And he crushes the ball. Left center field on the move to Luca. He's going to get there. Throw to third is offline, and into third goes Gonzalez.
Shows you how big that out was to Jake Burger. We've seen in the last inning that hitter, that first hitter with the runner at second, being able to move the runner to third base. White Sox would have gone ahead with that sac fly instead of just getting the runner to third.
And so it's up to Grandal, who hit from the right side for the first time in this game. 2 more hits tonight, 5 hits over the last 2 games. Dodgers have 9-1-2 coming up like they did in the 9th inning. That's Rojas, Betts, and Freeman. And Garrett Crochet awaits him. Ferguson's 1-0 pitch. Grandal bounces one left side, charging Taylor. He's got it, and the Dodgers have another scoreless inning of relief to the bottom of the 11th. Another chance to win it. A couple scoreless innings of relief in a 4-4 game. Bottom of the 11th inning. Rojas, Betts, and Freeman coming up. Dodgers another chance to win it.
Another high velocity fastball thrower. Crochet, just 23 years old. Real pup a couple years ago, coming up. Tommy John surgery last season. A lethal slider that's not been as good this year. It's a lot of arms and legs and body coming at you.
6'6", 230 out of Ocean Springs, Mississippi, and then University of Tennessee, where he's taken with the 11th pick of the draft in 2020. Speed for the Dodgers at second. Chris Taylor and Rojas to the plate. Back-to-back multi-hit games for Rojas. 2 strikeouts, 2 singles tonight. Bunts the first pitch in the air, foul. Wow. Don't often see that from this team.
Bottom of the 11th.
Desperate times.
And actually, Rojas normally a really good bunter.
One ball, one strike. Dodgers just are the only team in baseball without an official sacrifice attempt this year. So when I say you don't often see it, you literally never have with the 2013 Dodgers, at least not one put in play. 2-1.
It's definitely how you get out of it, is just foul off the first one.
Yeah.
Usually the sign's called off. All right, fine, swing.
It's like doing a poor job on your chores when your parents ask you, so they maybe don't ask again. I'll sweep the floor. 2-1 from Crochet. Rojas takes ball 3. It's blocked by Grandal, and that'll move him up. Winning run now 90 feet away. The Dodger fans are saying, oh man, nightmares returning right there. We've seen that a time or two from Grandal.
Yep. Pass ball all the way. Took his eyes off of it. Dodgers saying thank you. This is why we don't sacrifice. Get him over any other way.
That is a check swing. They want to pass down to first. Nobody has yet. It's ball 4.
Grandal saying it was a foul tip, but that's what he's trying to argue. He's saying that it hit the bat.
Might have a case.
Yeah. It changes direction.
A foul tip is not reviewable. And so they're going to have to get together and say, you have it, you have it. Based on this, those shaking to the heads, I don't think any of them had it.
It took us to slow it down.
just to barely see it.
It's the crew chief there, Brian O'Nora, giving the explanation to Pedro Grifol.
Dodgers get a break.
Yeah. And they get Mookie Betts to the plate with a chance to end this ball game. Identical lines, 4-8 and 0. Both sides. Betts trying to change that and end this. Strike one from Crochet. Had the first 2 Dodger hits in this game against Dylan Cease when it looked like it was going to be a really long night. But as soon as Cease left.
Look at the defense, too. I mean, outfield way pulled in. Obviously, there's so many opportunities to score for Mookie.
In the dirt and blocked by the mask of Grandal. Look what I found.
It's incredible. He has the pass ball that was right in his mitt. But then he blocks this. Just spiked.
Winning run at third. Mookie Betts lifts it foul. That'll reach the seats, 1 and 2. Crochet go gunning for a strikeout here.
You don't want Mookie to put the ball in play. The way that he can find open spaces. There's so much of it right now.
The 1-2. Again, Grandal getting tested. Crochet buries another.
That's how bad they want the strikeout, because he's not going to get all of them.
Crochet does have 1 wild pitch in his 10 innings this year. His 2-2 is ripped down the line, foul. Here we go again. 2-2. Mookie Betts fouls it off. 2 in the first, 2 in the fourth for the White Sox. A couple of back-to-back home run stretches. Dodgers tied it with a grand slam from Chris Taylor in the 6th. Taylor touches home one more time, they win it. Another 2-2. Betts pulls it foul again.
I'm surprised they haven't sent Rojas either, just to eliminate the double play, get him at second base.
Eighth pitch coming up. Mookie Betts checks his swing and the count goes full.
Checked it.
Freeman waits on deck. On 3-2, Betts pumps it foul. And the marathon continues, both in the game and in this at-bat.
He just asked, is that a strike? That was way in on the hands, but he's seen just about everything from Crochet in this at-bat.
He's about to see the 10th pitch here in the 11th inning, and Betts pulls one foul again. Peppering him with souvenirs down in that left field corner. Now he's going to use his time. Was wondering when that was going to come. Freddie saying, make up
like
your mind.
Home run derby when they can use their timeout just one time. It's like cardio.
11th inning. 11th pitch. There'll be a 12th.
Keep Nick's trying to get it in there on Mookie.
Twelfth pitch. What's the verdict? A walk for Betts. And a chance for Freeman. Longest plate appearance of the year for Mookie Betts. And now bases loaded, nobody out, and Freddie Freeman to the plate. Pedro Grifol out here with the White Sox trainer.
Yeah. Watching the mouth of Crochet, he said, "I'm good. No, I'm fine." And they saw from the dugout.
All right, so Freddie Freeman, who's 0 for 4 in this game, hitless in this series, 0 for 10. Although he does have a walk. Infield remains pulled in. Bases loaded. Freddie Freeman. First pitch. Ball 1. The 1-0. Freeman fouls it. 1-1. First time in almost 2 months, Freddie Freeman's gone back-to-back games without a hit. This is an eternity for this guy. Smothered by Grandal. Freeman ahead 2-1. Crochet caught between a rock and a hard place here. Facing one of the great hitters in the game. Can hit just about any pitch, but there's nowhere to put him. The 2-1 pitch. Taken high, ball 3.
You've seen that fastball velocity go way down just in this inning alone. Started out at 96, 97. That last one, 92.
Cracked in the air, center field. That is going to do it. Robert won't even move. It lands, and the game is over. Chris Taylor in to score. The Dodgers from down 4-0 to win 5-4. They win the series. Freddie Freeman with a walk-off base hit.
Joe, it was the takes, too, to get a pitch that he could drive far enough to get that run that seems so elusive for both these teams the last 5 innings. Freddie Freeman showing a great at-bat.
Well, it's Taylor's grand slam that gets it here. It's Freddie Freeman's base hit that ends it, but it's the bullpen with 6 scoreless innings. In a 5-4 victory for the Dodgers, they take the series from the White Sox, a true walk-off win. 5-4 final score. Giants coming to town for the first of 3 tomorrow night. With Jessica Mendoza, Kirsten Watson, the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from Dodger Stadium. Stay tuned. Access Sportsnet Dodgers begins now.